Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing some swatches for you guys. I am going to be swatching the all new reflective glitter acrylic from Kiara Sky. I know a lot of you guys have seen that all the companies have came out with the gel polish version, but have you seen the acrylic version? I don't think so. So I'm really excited to be sharing these with you guys because I know a lot of you do acrylics. So we're going to get into that in a little bit, but I'm also going to be doing a review on the all new Monomer enhancer from Kiara Sky. I have gotten tons of DMs and comments asking me to review these products, and you guys already know I got you. So as all of my other videos, I try to be super transparent when it comes to product reviews. I'm going to give you guys my non-biased opinion, whether it's good, bad, or really ugly. I'm going to be making sure that I let you guys know because I'm not going to try to sell a product that I really don't believe is a good product. So that being said, we're going to be doing a full video on me using it, testing it, and then I'm going to be sharing all my thoughts with you guys about this product, whether it's worth it or not. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Now let's get right into it. Getting right into the swatching portion, I did want to go ahead and apologize that I rudely unboxed these for you guys. I definitely failed to realize that they were nice and organized. I'm not sure if they were color coordinated or number coordinated, but I just threw them all on my table. So we're going to be swatching them as I go. I'm literally scooting them to the side and just grabbing and swatching. So no specific order and zero organization on my part. So I apologize for that. But we're going to be using this little like nail art swatch stick type of thing just to make things a little bit easier. I'm grabbing some Kiara Sky monomer and my brush is the Kiara Sky brush in a size 14. So we're starting off with this beautiful color called Apple of My Eye. It's such a stunning muted green. It's like perfectly bright, but also muted. And it also, in my opinion, has like a teal hue to it. So it's like a greenish blue color. I absolutely love it. Also, I'm going to be only swatching half of the swatch stick for you guys. And then I'm going to be infilling the rest of it off camera. Now we're going to be using Peach for the Stars. Such a cute name. I feel like always they come up with the cutest names. It is like a darker type of peach color for sure. More on the darker side. I love it though. I feel like as you start working the product down, it does lighten up a little bit. So it is like a darker peach color still. But I love it. I think it's super, super cute. Definitely more, again, like fall vibes. Now we're going in with the color Mahalo. I think that's how you say it. It's like a darker toned silver color, like that gunmetal type of vibe to it, I think. Super cute. I love this color. I feel like it's going to be perfect for Halloween nails. I love using dark grays with orange, so definitely going to be doing that mixture with this one and see how beautifully it reflects. I think it's such a pretty color. Definitely love this one. Next, we have number 13 called Nuts for You. This one is like a darker brownish, reddish pink color. As you can see on camera, it kind of almost matches the rose gold type of vibe on my brush. I think, in my opinion, it kind of gives off a nice rose gold kind of hue to it. Next we have Gold Touch, super stunning gold color. I definitely like this. It's giving fall vibes. I think all of them are giving fall vibes for sure. I think they're nice, dark and muted colors for the fall time. Definitely a must for Christmas time for sure, and New Year's. So I'm definitely really excited to use this one specifically for the holiday season. So it's such a like muted yellow toned gold that I think it's just gonna be perfect paired with any color that you choose. Next, we have Cake It Easy. This one is a little bit more of a softer pink in comparison to the other ones, and it also has more holographic type of glitters in it. So you got the more iridescent type of vibe to it versus just one tone colored glitter in it. I really, really like this one too. Super, super cute. Definitely love the softer pink vibe. And if it's gonna sparkle, might as well add all the sparkles, right? We got Sunday Fun Day next. So now that the other gold has dried down, it definitely gives more of a like bronzy gold color in comparison to the one that I'm swatching right now. This one definitely is a brighter, more yellow toned glitter. Next, we're going to be going in with Berrylicious. It's so freaking pretty. I think this one is like one of the brighter ones out of the entire collection. So I definitely appreciate that one. It has like such a pretty pink, bright vibe to it. So I love this one and I think I'm going to be using this one very, very soon. Next we have Appealing. This one is definitely a red glitter. I am so excited to use this one for Christmas time for sure. And then you got Valentine's Day. I am obsessing over the perfect red color. I feel like it's really, really hard to get good red glitters. So definitely add this one for the holiday season. It's going to be a must. Next we have Tin Man, and this one is the perfect silver glitter acrylic. I am loving it so far. It's like a lighter version of the one that I swatched earlier. Definitely more of a true silver color for sure. This one is called Brutal, and this one is kind of like a combination of silver mixed with a small amount of gold into it. I like this one a lot. I think this one's going to be my favorite like silvery color. I don't like a super, super silver glitter, so this one is definitely super, super pretty. Now we got Hopeless Romantic next. And then of course this one is more of like a muted soft pink, which I think is a must for Valentine's Day. I feel like that paired with a nice gray color is going to be a really good combination to put together. Next we got number 14 called Irrelevant, and I think that this one is like a dark, dark, dark navy blue color. I'm not sure if it was intended to be a black color, but definitely giving off like the smallest hue of blue in there, which I love a good like midnight blue color. I think it looks so good for Halloween season and for New Year nails. Next we have number 2 called Queen Bee, and it is such a pretty soft purple color. I love this one. This one is definitely giving off the same vibe as that bright pink color that I showed you guys earlier. It's super, super pretty, nice and vibrant, but also very soft at the same time. So I really, really like this one as well. Next we have Ice Cold number 5. This right here is the perfect blue glitter. It has a slight purple undertone to it, but it's super, super vibrant, which I love vibrant colors, as you guys can tell. I definitely feel like they gave us a good combo of all of the colors that you could possibly need all year round, so I definitely appreciate that in this collection. Next we got You Blew It, number 6, and this one is more of a baby blue color, as you guys can tell. Slight teal vibe to it, but definitely more on the baby blue side. Better option for like the springtime color. I really like it. Also would be a really good option for like baby shower nails or gender reveal nails. Next we have Grape Idea, number 4, and this one is like the perfect color combination between the pink one and the purple one that I previously swatched. It's like they mixed them together and got like this perfect bright purple color. I really like this. I would love to use this with pink for Valentine's Day. I feel like pink and purple just looks so good together. But that concludes the swatching portion of today's video. I absolutely love them. Look at the reflectiveness, and turn off the lights and they look even better. So definitely recommend you guys go out and purchase these. And then just very quickly, also I'm going to be showing it to you guys without the flash on. So you'll be able to see what it looks like just in regular daylight. And I think they're so freaking pretty. So we're gonna get into the actual test/review portion of the video. I'm gonna be setting up my workstation with 3 different dapping dishes. I figured this would be the best way so you guys can visually see what I'm doing. The first dapping dish is gonna have no monomer enhancer in it, so it's going to be regular Kiara Sky monomer. The second one is going to have 4 drops of the monomer enhancer, and then the last one's going to have 8 drops of the monomer enhancer. Now here is the monomer enhancer bottle. I absolutely love it. Absolutely stunning. Always A+ on the packaging. So it claims to give you a longer lasting acrylic set. It's supposed to enhance your monomer for it to work better on the client or just on the application process itself. It's also supposed to self-level the product. So if you're working with a very runny acrylic, it should neutralize that and make it very easy for you to work with. And then if you have like a really dry bead, it's supposed to neutralize that to make it the perfect consistency as well, while giving you a faster setting speed of acrylic. So I went ahead and did my drops. I promise you on the last one I did do 8 drops. I did 1 and my phone died as per usual. So then I just recorded the 7 other drops. But 8 drops is the max total that you should apply in your monomer. And I did try to apply the same amount of monomer in each dapping dish so that the test was more accurate, if you will. So I'm gonna go into the actual testing portion of it. I went in not knowing what to expect, so I promise you I will be giving you my full-blown like experience and thoughts on the product. So I don't know what I was doing here, but I was just chilling, but since I'm talking, it works out. So we're gonna start off with the Kiara Sky, of course. This is the Kiara Sky monomer and the Kiara Sky acrylic. This color is absolutely stunning, and I'll share all the names of the colors that I'm using down below so you guys can see. Now, I always say in my videos that I use Kiara Sky products. They work really well. They are super opaque, which I absolutely appreciate, but they're also super blendable. A lot of the time when you have a very opaque color, it makes the acrylic very chalky, and with the Kiara Sky, it does not, I promise you. Now, I will give you guys for reference, my room temperature in the salon is set currently while I'm filming this at 75 degrees. It was a little warmer in there, so I wanted to see how it would kind of work out with that temperature. Not only because of that, but I'm always cold, so I went ahead and left it a little bit warmer in there. Now, first thoughts, regular process, use the Kiara Sky. It works perfectly because it is the monomer to the Kiara Sky product. They just work perfectly together. So really no thoughts on that. Now we're gonna go in with the 4 drops. I did fully submerge my brush a few times before actually picking up the bead. I just didn't show that on camera. But so far, what I feel for my first bead that I applied with no enhancer, I feel like it definitely dried a little bit quicker for me. Now, as you can see, this one is giving me a little bit more time to work with it. Not only that, I'm picking up the exact same bead when it comes to picking up the product. So I wanted to make it super consistent so that everything was tested properly. So I picked up the exact same bead. I was able to pick up a little bit more on this one, as you guys can tell, and it gave me a little bit longer time to actually work with it. Now we're going in with the 8 drops of the monomer. On this one, I didn't notice a huge difference. I did notice that it gave me a little bit of like more time to work with it in comparison to the first one that had 0 enhancer in it. But I don't see a huge difference from the 8 drops and the 4 drops. So it gave me a good size bead as well, and it gave me a good amount to work with it as well. I'm not quite sure if it's making it dry quicker or not, but I do think that as far as it neutralizing the consistency of it, it definitely helped in that area. Now we're gonna be testing it with the Not Polish acrylic. Again, same sized bead with no enhancer in it. And I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know if it's because it's hot in the room, but I noticed that the bead started drying instantly. And this is again with no monomer enhancer, with the Not Polish acrylic. Not Polish acrylic already has a great consistency to it, so not sure if it was just because it's Kiara Sky monomer that I typically use the Not Polish monomer with it. Never have issues, but I almost felt like once I put it down on the swatch stick, it like felt really hard. But then I started working with it and it kind of leveled itself out a little bit, but definitely a lot harder to work with that monomer. Now we're going in with the second one, which is the 4 drops. And I also feel like it was still a little bit stiff, but not as stiff. So honestly, I do think that it's working with this combo. So again, I'm trying it with different acrylics so that you guys can fully see and grasp. And as you can see that it did dry it a little bit quicker, and I'm having to add a little bit more of product on there because it didn't go all the way down to the tip. And like I mentioned, I'm grabbing the same size bead with the same brush, just different monomers. And then we're going in with the 8 drops of it. As you can see, that's basically how I was submerging my brush the whole time to make sure that it's fully coated with the 8 drops of it. We're gonna be picking up the same bead, going right on to the stick. And I feel like it was hard, but immediately after I started molding it, it definitely gave me a good amount of like consistency to it. It was more on the stiff side, but very moldable. And so in my opinion, for the Not Polished one, I like it using with the 8 drops. It just gave me a little bit more of like a moldable consistency versus it just feeling hard and not blendable, if that makes sense. Now, next we're going in with the Modelones acrylic. Now, this is a more affordable version of like all the acrylics that I have set out on my desk right now. Super chalky though. So I've mentioned that before when I've used the products. I came in with high hopes for the Modelones because it is super affordable, and I'm like, okay, it's meant to be used with any type of product. So if this helps neutralize the chalkiness, we're golden. We are golden. So I went ahead, this is the first swatch with that Modelones acrylic using just the Kiara Sky monomer. So you can tell that it was slightly chalky when I placed it on there, but then I was able to blend it out very nicely actually. Now we're going in with the 4 drops. And not even gonna lie, way more chalky. Definitely, it was hard. You can tell that I'm having to really work to try to get that top cuticle type portion of the nail a little bit more on the round side. But once you get the monomer going, it blends really nicely. So I'm not sure if it's just like the initial letting it sit on the nail portion, and then once it gets a little bit more of the monomer into it, it starts working just fine. So definitely made it a little bit harder, but it still worked really well. Now we're going in with the last one with the 8 drops. Same amount of product. We're placing it on there, and now you can tell that it is a little bit more on the moldable side. So I'm able to nicely just kind of form out that cuticle area and then very quickly just kind of blend it down. I'm not even gonna lie, I was struggling with these little swatch sticks throughout the whole thing. I should have just used my practice fingers, but here we are. So I'm just gonna go in, blend it out a little bit, and it worked perfectly. So in my opinion, I like it a lot more with the 8 drops of the Monomer enhancer for sure. Now we're going in with the Glam and Glitz powders. If you guys are not aware, this is a sister company to Kiara Sky that I absolutely adore. They've been with me for over 5 years that I started doing nails. They're my OGs and I absolutely love Glam and Glitz. A lot of people don't like it because of the chalky consistency, but when I tell you, when I used it with no monomer enhancer in it, I was like, wait, what? So I think that it works really, really well because it is Kiara Sky monomer with the Glam and Glitz. So as you can see, I'm not having any issues at all whatsoever, no chalkiness at all whatsoever. It's just blending out very nicely. Now we're going in with the 4 drops, same amount of product, placing it on there, and I do get a little bit more of like the drier side of the product, but it's still very, very moldable. I'm able to just kind of tap it into place, drag the sides down a little bit, and it's just staying in place in comparison to the first one that I feel like I kind of just dragged down because it was a little bit more runny. So I'm able to just kind of mold this out perfectly, and it's setting just fine, honestly. Now we're going in with the 8 drops, and I'm going in with the same amount of product and placing that on there. And again, I feel like it was just like perfect. So I'm not quite sure which one I like better because the Kiara Sky monomer itself worked really, really good with the Glam and Glitz acrylic. I can't tell if it made a difference between the no enhancer, the 4 drops, or the 8 drops. They all worked perfectly, and I loved the consistency of every single one of them. Hello, I wanted to do a quick little outro because I didn't allow myself after I stopped filming to kind of go over like what my thoughts and stuff were on the product. So I know that it kind of was a little bit confusing. I basically told you guys what I was experiencing right then and there. Now to give you guys my full-blown thoughts on this product, we're gonna go over what the claims of the monomer enhancer are. So it's supposed to boost your monomer's performance, cut acrylic drying time in half, maximize adhesion and retention, improves acrylic powder consistency, prevents crystallization in cold weather, prevents runny acrylic, and it has non-yellowing properties, compatible with all monomers. Now, as far as boosting the monomer performance, I personally think, in my humble opinion, that the Kiara Sky monomer is just amazing itself. So I think that if I would have tested it with a different monomer, I feel like I probably would have gotten a different opinion on the product. So I will be testing it out with a different monomer in a later video, or I may just do it live for you guys so that you guys can really see my first thoughts on it using it live. So kind of give or take on how you kind of want to see whether it boosts the performance or not. Cuts acrylic drying time in half. I don't think I noticed a huge difference on that either. My room temperature was set at 75. The salon is a small size. It's not hot in there, but it was like a comfortable temperature for me. I'm always really, really cold. So I didn't notice specifically it cutting the drying time in half or not. I also wasn't checking how long it was taking to dry it, so I probably should have done that. Maximize adhesion and retention. Obviously, I did it on little swatch sticks, so I'm not quite sure on that, but I will be testing that out on myself so that I can tell you guys. And I'm specifically going to test it on my right hand because I would be doing it with my non-dominant hand, and I typically get lifting on my right hand because of that. So maybe that will kind of help. I do want to test it out because I used to use a monomer that had primer in it, and I do think that it worked really, really well. Not quite sure why I stopped using it, but I definitely, if it works for that in itself, 100% worth it. I think that alone would be a great selling point as to why you should purchase the product. Now, as far as it improving the acrylic powder consistency, I 100% think that it did do that. It did do just that. But I also think that the monomer from Kiara Sky itself did that alone without the monomer enhancer. I don't know what it is, but I used to think that the Glam and Glitz acrylic was super, super chalky when I've used it in the past with different monomers. And I always, always, always say that. Every time I recommend Glam and Glitz, I'm like, but it's super chalky, but it's more affordable, so we can bypass the chalkiness, right? Not anymore. When you use the Kiara Sky monomer, you guys could definitely see in the video that it was just like super blendable. It worked extremely well. I didn't see a huge difference with the monomer enhancer, but I do think that it gives you like the perfect kind of like stiff but blendable kind of experience. And I say that a lot with the Kiara Sky acrylic itself. I've always said that the Kiara Sky acrylic is very opaque but super blendable, but it stays still. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I do think that it helped kind of do that. Not only that, when it came to the Modelones acrylic, I feel like it definitely helped level that out. When I used it with the not polished one, I feel like it made it a little bit more on the stiff side, but it wasn't a bad thing because I was still able to work with it. But it definitely did cut that drying time for sure in half. So I think it just depends on what powders you're using it. I would have to use them a lot more often to really see like if it does make a difference. So also still slightly confusing. Now as far as the preventing crystallization and prevents runny acrylic, I would have to test that, like I said, in different climates just to give you guys my full-blown honest opinion. And then the non-yellowing purposes, that comes already in a lot of the monomers. So as far as that goes, I don't think it's like absolutely necessary unless you have a clear monomer and you want to add that to it, then for sure it would help. But a lot of the time, if your monomer is purple, that is an indicator that it is non-yellowing. So then it says it's compatible with all monomers. So yes, I will be testing that further with you guys, testing out different monomers. You guys know I use different monomers on my channel all the time. So we will be diving deep into that. So as of right now, do I think it is absolutely necessary? No. Like I said, I have to really like dive deeper into my thoughts and kind of messing around with different techniques and stuff to try to see if it's actually really worth it. But if you take anything out of this video, I think that the more important thing that you should invest in is the Kiara Sky monomer, because it made me think that I was crazy all this time. The Modelones acrylic itself like blended out very, very nicely with the Kiara Sky monomer. So I think that in itself is a great investment if you're looking to improve your acrylic application. 100%. Invest in some good monomer, and I think Kiara Sky is a really good option. So we will be testing this further. I hope this kind of helped you guys determine whether you want to purchase it or not, and by all means purchase it if you're iffy about my opinion, and test it out for yourself and let me know if you guys have tested it. Let me know down below what you guys gathered out of it, and if you will be purchasing it, also let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are. But like I said, stay tuned for another video or a live possibly, so that we can test it together. Live I think would be a really good option. But as far as this video goes, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton, and I'll see you guys next time.